reading of the Medium's book, a book written by ALLAN KARDEC and by the spirits. We are in the second part of the book, chapter 14. Today, we're going to answer the following question. What have some scientists and religious people been doing about mediumship? Let's check. Well, reason revolts at the idea of the tortures, both moral and physical, too often inflicted by science upon feeble and delicate persons in order to ascertain whether there is or is not deception on their part in the production of the phenomena we are considering. The experiments to which such persons are often subjected and which are not unseldom entered upon with malevolent and hostile sentiments are always injurious to sensitive organizations, and serious injury is often done to the system by tests which may in some cases be justly designated as trifling with life. Dispassionate observers know that there is no necessity of expedients such as are sometimes resorted to in cases of this kind. The abnormal phenomena exhibited by this class of patients being connected with the moral rather than with the physical nature, for which reason they cannot be explained by purely physical science. From the fact that these phenomena are closely allied to the moral nature, whatever might tend to overexcite the imagination of such patients should be scrupulously avoided. We know the evil effects that may result from fear, and people would be less frequently guilty of the imprudence of appealing to this sentiment if they knew all the cases of imbecility and epilepsy that have been occasioned by nursery terrors. What then must be the effect of persuading weak minds that they are possessed by the devil? And in a note of the book, there is to attribute ubiquity to a spirit of low degree, such as the devil. Well, continuing, those who sanction such ideas know not how heavy a responsibility they assume, for by doing so, they may cause the death of a fellow creature. And the danger of such ideas is not confined to a single individual, but is shared by all the inmates of the same house, who may also be made ill by the idea that their abode is a den of demons. This direful belief led to the commission of innumerable acts of atrocity in times of ignorance and superstition. But even in those dark and gloomy days, the inquisitors ought to have known that burning the body of those who were reputed to be possessed by the evil or by the devil, they could not burn the devil. And that in order to get rid of the devil, it was the devil himself that would have had to be killed. Spiritist doctrine, by enlightening us concerning the true cause of all these phenomena, gives the death blow to be belief in the devil. So far, then, from giving our sanction to that belief, it is our burden duty, in the interests of morality and humanity, to combat and destroy it wherever it exists. Whenever involuntary mediumship develops itself spontaneously in an individual, it should be allowed to follow its natural course. Nature is wiser than man, and Providence, forecasting its ends, may use the humblest of us as an instrument for the accomplishment of the greatest designs. It must, however, be admitted that this phenomenon sometimes attains proportions which render it annoying and fatiguing to all who are in contact with a medium of the character in question. And by that they made also a note saying would necessarily be it is utterly illogical. The devil can only be a generic term, for the name of bad spirits is legion. vied for the relation between a spirit's purity and his ubiquity. In other words, his power of radiation, the admirable illustration given by the spirits of Channing, part 2, chapter 25, item 30. And also, one of the most extraordinary facts of this nature, the nature of the medium, the character, both for the variety and the strangeness of the phenomena manifested, is that to which we have already alluded as having taken place in Bergzabern near Wissemburg in Bavaria in 1853. For it offered through the same medium almost every species of spontaneous manifestation, noises loud enough to shake the house, upsetting of the furniture, and the transport of objects by invisible hands, visions and apparitions, somnambulism, trance, catalepsy, electric attraction, cries and other sounds in the air, the playing of instruments without human contact, intelligence, communication, etc. And what is of no small importance, the reality of these facts, which occurred during 2 years, was attested by a vast number of ocular witnesses of admitting intelligence and good social position. Authentic accounts of the occurrences referred to were published at the time in the many German journals, and a summary of them with comments and explanations is given in the Revue Spirit of the following year. Well, we continue here. And in all such cases, as we have already remarked on chapter 5 concerning spontaneous physical manifestations, we should endeavor to enter into communication with the disturbing spirit so as to find out what he wants. The invisible beings who reveal their presence by troublesome manifestations are generally spirits of an inferior order, and such as may be controlled by moral ascendancy. And this ascendancy we must both seek and acquire if we would influence such uncomfortable visitants. In order to do this, we must begin by modifying the medianimity of the individual through whose fluid the phenomena occur, so as to change his state from that of a natural or involuntary medium to that of a voluntary medium. And the result is thus effected analogous to what occurs when natural somnambulism is put a stop to, as is usually done by the superinducing of magnetic somnambulism, in which case the action of the faculty which emancipates the soul is not arrested, but merely turned in another direction. It is the same with the mediumic faculty. Instead of attempting to prevent the production of the phenomena, which can rarely be done and cannot be attempted without danger, the medium must be urged to produce the same phenomena voluntarily, thus making the spirit work by an exertion of his will. In this way, he acquires a mastery over the spirit and often succeeds in converting him into a docile servant instead of the tyrant he was before. It is worthy of remark that in circumstances of this kind, a child has often no less or even more authority than an adult, a fact which gives new proof of that capital point of our doctrine, viz., that a child is only a child as regards his body, that his spirit possesses the degree of development he had acquired before his present incarnation, and that he has necessarily a proportional ascendancy over spirits whose development is inferior to his own. The moralization of an obsessing spirit through the counsels of an influential and experienced third party is often efficacious when the medium is not in a state to act for himself. We shall return to this point by and by. Well, guys, this is it for today. We're done with our reading. If you enjoyed this reading, give our video a like. If you have any question, leave it in the comments, because your question could be ours or our friends' questions as well. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, subscribe and press the bell to receive notifications. We also have a channel on Instagram and Facebook. Share content with people who have the same interests as you. Our best wishes of peace. God bless you all. Big kiss. Bye-bye.